Vandiazzo back again with another Card Fight Vanguard deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. Let's get started. So this is my budget Aqua Force Navalgazer deck build because Revan's too expensive for me and Maelstrom's too expensive for me. So let's go ahead and get this started. So my starting Vanguard is Officer Cadet Eric. I choose him as my starter because I already own him and I'm not going to spend even though it's only like 5 cents, I'm not going to spend another 5 cents getting a card. Okay, now on for these things. So, first up, I have 2 copies of Supersonic Sailor, because my trigger lineup is just going to be 6 crit, 6 front, and then 4 heal. So then, let's go ahead. 2 Outride, 4 Dolphin Soldier of High Speed Raids, and 4 copies of Battle Intelligence, and then finally for the heal, Medical Officer of the Rainbow Elixir. Now onto grade 1s. So, in this case, I run 3 copies of the Tier Knight Theo, 10k shield, 8k base, Vanguard or Rearguard Circle auto when it attacks or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard. If it's the second battle of that turn or more, it gets plus 8k. I kind of like the rush feel of it. It gives plus 8,000 to a unit. It's free, so all it has to do is hit, and then the unit gets stronger. And in an Excel deck, that's extremely important because one trigger could shut down a whole attack. With that 8k, could turn that trigger power up nullified. So it's really useful to have 3 copies of it in this deck in particular because it just doesn't fit in any other space. Next up is 4 copies of Battle Siren Viviana. So Auto Rearguard Circle, also it has 8k base and 10k shield. Auto Rearguard Circle, when the attack it boosts, it hits a Vanguard. If it's the 3rd battle that turn or more, put itself to soul and draw 1. So since I don't run draw triggers, I kind of want to run this thing because it's a stronger booster, it's a grade 1, and it is essentially a draw trigger. So, well, not without the power boost. So I actually love it. It's useful, it fits it, so I kind of have like 20 triggers, as I like to say, because getting that extra little draw, considering that Aqua Force can hit like the 3rd battle really easily, considering you've all seen Aqua Force on my channel fight, so really easy. And then next up is 4 copies of Light Signals Penguin Soldier. So Act Rearguard Circle, well 8k base, 10k shield, Act Rearguard Circle, rest this unit, and one of your units in the same column of it gets plus 5k to end of turn. Auto Rearguard Circle, when your other unit attacks, if it's the 4th battle that turn or more, retire Penguin Soldier and countercharge. So, really useful. This deck does counterblast a lot, so having that countercharge is helpful. The only problem is, it has to be retired, and it only activates during the 4th battle, so if you miss the timing of it, like if you don't do it during the 4th battle, you're kind of fucked. So, you have to make sure that you're using the proper amount of counterblast so that you don't waste the countercharge. Onto grade 2s. Next up is Trident Shooter. 9k base, 5k shield. Auto Rearguard Circle. At the end of the battle that it attacked a Vanguard, if this unit is on an additional Rearguard Circle, Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, and you may exchange this unit's positions with one of your other Rearguards. So pretty much, like, I'm trying to think of a unit that I did this with before, but I don't remember. So if this unit's on an Excel Circle, right, it gets plus 10 or 5, depending on which gift you got, and then when you use its skill, it swaps itself with another Rearguard, no matter what the battle is. So say, for example, you wanted to attack with this thing first, and you wanted to switch it out for Lazarus, who you put in your back row for a reason, so you could have more attackers in the front. You would switch this thing out with Lazarus, so then Trident Shooter would go in the back as rested, and Lazarus would go to the Excel Circle as stand and with extra power. So really useful. 3 copies. I don't think I've ever used its ability at all, but that's mostly because I only call it to regular circles. Next up is 4 copies of Tier Knight Lazarus. So 5k shield, 9k base, Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, auto, when it attacks a Vanguard, if it's the 2nd battle that turn or more, it gets plus 3k to end of battle. So as long as it isn't attacking for the 1st battle, and normally that's Algos's job, or Trident Shooters, depending on which one I have, more likely not Algos, it gets plus 3k. So it's essentially a 12k hitter, useful against Protect and Excel decks, not so useful against Force decks if it's not an Excel gift. So try to, because it only works if it attacks the Vanguard, but if you can stack it, because, well, technically you can't stack it. Next up is 4 copies of the Storm Rider Basil, 5k shield, 9k base, auto Rearguard Circle when it attacks a Vanguard. If it's the 3rd battle that turn or more, counterblast 1 and it gets plus 5 until the end of the battle. Then, if it's the 4th battle or more, it gets plus 10 instead of plus 5. So, if you only need that plus 5, then attack with it for the 3rd battle. But if you like that plus 10, go for the 4th battle, and this thing will just keep on swinging. I remember I have like a certain play, and I'll say it at the end of the video, but basically I got like 7, no, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks on the Vanguard, and Basil was 2 of them, and both of them got plus 10k each. That was just a hell rush that my opponent barely survived. So really useful to have. Power stacking, rush is really good. I like it. Also, I like its cool art. I like the sword. I like the just sword slash. I like his look in general. I like everything about him, to be honest. Next up is 4 copies of our 8th grade 2 Marine General of the Restless Tides, Algos. So 5k shield, 9k base, auto Vanguard Circle, the skill I have never used in my life and I probably never will. When it attacks, if it's the second battle that turn or more, counter blast 1 and soul blast 1, stand one of your rear guards. I'm not saying that skill is bad, I just refuse to write it for some reason. And then auto rearguard circle, when it attacks, if it's the first battle that turn or more, counter blast 1, restand it. So that's normally my standard play. Call it to an Axel circle, hit with it on the first battle skill, restand it, and then attack with it again. Use Navalgazer to restand it, so I get 3 attacks with Algos, which is useful, because rushing is a thing, and rushing is broken as hell. Now on to grade 3s. 3 copies of Riptide Dragon. Continuous rearguard circle, can only attack during the 4th battle or more. So pretty much 3rd battle or below, it can attack, but 4th battle or higher, it can attack. And then auto rearguard circle, whenever it attacks, no matter what the battle is, it gets plus 20. That's immediately a 32k attack on its own. On an Excel circle, that's 42. This card is extremely fun to use against newbies who don't know what the hell it is, and then they realize that they're facing true hell. And then finally, 4 copies of our 8th grade 3 that I've been talking about for long enough, Navalgazer Dragon. So auto Vanguard Circle, when it attacks, if it's the 3rd battle that turn or more, counter blast 1, stand one of your rear guards, and this unit gets plus 10k till the end of the battle. So normally what I like to do is I like to ride into this thing, get a gift, call Algos to the gift, call 2 Basils, and then what I would, if I can't call 2 Basils, it's my ideal field, call 2 Basils, call the Algos to the XL gift, call some boost, call 2 Penguin Soldiers, and call Theo. I'm just basically telling you what happened last time I did the strategy. So Algos goes in, skill, counterblast 1, restand itself, goes in again, then Vanguard goes in, skill, restand Algos, lights him up, twin drive, doesn't matter, and then Basil goes in, Basil goes in, skill, skill, counterblast 1, plus 10, skill the Penguin Soldiers, nuke themselves, countercharge 2, and then the other Basil goes in, skill, counterblast 1, do the thing, plus 10, and then Algos goes in finally, and then shoot some guns. So it's a really useful unit. It can just set up so many combos, and it can hit force numbers if you have something to restand, so always useful. And then finally, our gifts. I run Imaginary Gift Axel 1 Astro Artwork. You can run whatever you want, really. I mean, I just like the Astro Artwork because it looks cool as hell. It can be whatever art you want, but I suggest running 4 of Axel 1, then I suggest running 4 of Axel 2. Once more, Astro Artwork, it can be whatever one you want. Glory Maelstrom, doesn't really matter. I just choose this because I like it. But yeah, that was the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do have Patreon. And don't forget to stand up your Vanguard.